take me seriously. And I've said here and now, and I want to repeat before you, William Samoei Ruto is not going to win elections.
Ni wakati wa Atwoli kwenda nyumbani. Ndiyo sasa tupate new people. Tunahitaji vijana wachukue hiyo nafasi ya Atwoli. Uwezi kuwa mahali moja miaka yote ni kama wewe ndio uko na ideas peke yako.
Francis Atwoli has led KOTU since 2001, making him one of the Kenya's longest serving leader. For over 20 years, he has been a major voice in Kenya's labor sector, always vocal, always controversial. But how has he held on to power for so long? Most Kenyans says that Atwoli has overstayed his welcome, while others call him a hero and a champion for workers. Has Atwoli truly served the workers or just himself? Today we dig deep into Atwoli's leadership. Stay tuned and remember to subscribe. Francis Atwoli started as a worker in the Kenya's Post and Telecommunication Corporation, KPTC, in the 1990s. He quickly became active in labor movements in trade union activities, where he began rising through ranks. Atwoli's first major role in union leadership was at the Kenya Communication Workers Union, KCWU, which represented workers in the telecommunication sector. His vocal and aggressive advocacy for workers' welfare gained him popularity, and he eventually became the Secretary General of KWCU, Kenya Communications Workers Union. By the late 1990s, Atwoli established himself as a force in Kenya's labor movement. In 2001, he vied for the KOTU Secretary General position, taking over from Joseph Mugala, who had served in the role from 1986 until Atwoli's election. KOTU means Central Organization of Trade Unions, and it is the umbrella body for the trade unions in Kenya. It represents workers' interests across various industries. It was established to unify labor movement and advocate for better working conditions, fair wages and workers' rights. KOTU was created in 1965 after the dissolution of Kenya's Federation of Labour, KFL, that was being led by Tom Mboya. The Kenya's government and labor leadership wanted a single unified trade union to consolidate and engage in negotiations with employers and policymakers. Just as Mulei was the first Secretary General of KOTU, Dennis Akumu becoming a significant figure in the both KOTU and international labor organizations. Over the years, KOTU has been led by influential figures, including Joseph Mugal, who served before Francis Atwoli. KOTU has been able to expand its influence both locally and internationally, engaging with international labor organizations, ILO, and the African Regional Organizations of Trade Unions, OATUU. Francis Atwoli has enjoyed decades of dominance in Kenya's labor movement, but in recent years, things started to take a different turn. While he was once seen as the ultimate champion of workers' rights, public opinion has shifted, and several factors have led to the growing criticism of his leadership. For years, Atwoli enjoyed widespread of influence without much resistance. However, as Kenyans became more politically aware and vocal, many started questioning his long stay in office. Critics argue that KOTU election favor incumbents, preventing real change. His refusal to step aside has led to perception that he is clinging to power like typical politician. Kenyan youth, who make up the majority of the workforce, have grown impatient with leaders who have been in power for too long. The digital age have gained them platforms like X and TikTok to express their frustrations. The younger generation sees Atwoli as out of touch with their struggles, given his extravagant lifestyle. As union leader, he is supposed to fight for the rights of ordinary workers, but instead many Kenyans criticize his lavish lifestyle, how he owns multiple luxury homes, including multi-million mansion in Kajiado, complete with helicopter landing pad. His designer's clothes, gold rings on his fingers, flashy watches paint a picture far from struggles of the common Kenyan worker. In 2021, a photo of Atwoli's gold ring went viral. Atwoli is not just a union leader, he is deeply involved in politics. Over the years, he has openly supported specific politicians, including Mwai Kibaki in 2007, Raila Odinga in 2013, 2017, and 2022. William Ruto only after 2022 general election. Some Kenyans feel that this bias weakens his ability to truly represent workers, as he seems to shift alliances depending on the political climate. Remember, in 2022 election, Atwoli strongly opposed to William Ruto, even saying that Ruto will never be the president. But when Ruto won the election, Atwoli switched sides and started praising him. Many Kenyans now wonder, was Atwoli really fighting for the workers or just playing political games?
And I'm not dying tomorrow because I'm a just man of God. Take me seriously. And I've said here and now, and I want to repeat before you, William Samoei Ruto is not going to win elections.
Why are you walking away?
Atwoli's controversial statements made him a subject of criticism. Many Kenyans felt that his remarks are often insensitive, out of touch, and politically motivated. Jacinta said, Atwoli, please, you should have addressed the grievances faced by employees. They are suffering, and you are campaigning. Rail said, the most misplaced individual Kenya's workers have to endure since independence, as he eats their money every single day. During the press briefing in 2023, Atwoli was asked about the rising cost of living and whether Kenya's workers were struggling. He said, even currently, people are complaining of the high cost of living. Price of things has gone up. Oh, we voted for this government, but better William Samoei Ruto. He was very clear when he was campaigning. He told you, wewe mama mboga, wewe mtu wa bodaboda and everybody, that his government will build with you. When you are told to bring wood and a plow to help build the country, you go back and start saying you should have voted for Raila. Kenya's unemployment crisis is due to systematic issues such as corruption, lack of opportunities, and low wages. Many Kenyans feel very bad as they struggle daily to find meaningful work. Despite the oppressive rule of former President Moi, Atwoli has defended him, saying, Mzee was a humble and generous man. I am whom I am today because of him. Mzee has contributed to many success, and I am sure all of us have something nice to say about him. If you never benefited directly, then you drank maziwa ya Nyayo, something many of us will remember him for. Some Kenyans were annoyed because Moi's leadership was marked by dictatorship, detention, and economic struggle. Many Kenyans remember his leadership as oppressive, and Atwoli's praise of him felt like betrayal of the workers who suffered during his rule. When Kenyan workers demanded nationwide strike to protest poor wages and high taxes, Atwoli shockingly refused to support them, saying, they have said tomorrow is protest day, but workers, let us not participate. We are salaried people, you miss work and you are fired, and things can get worse. You cannot defend anyone on the basis that they were demonstrating. The primary role of a trade union is to fight for workers' rights, including organizing strikes when necessary.
Yale maneno tunasema nitakana Atwoli ndiye aongoze kusema kama kiongozi wa wafanyakazi. Yale tunasema hata kuambia Wakenya waende kwa barabara, hiyo ni kazi ya Atwoli.
Atwoli's refusal to lead the protest against harsh economic conditions made many workers question his loyalty. Due to all this, there have been multiple instances where Kenyans called for Francis Atwoli to resign from his position.
Huu ndio wakati wa kuambia wafanyikazi kwamba Atwoli has nothing to do with the workers na ako focused kwa politics. Kila siku, kila wakati ukimwona ni Ruto, 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 Ruto. Hakuna siku anaongea kuhusu wafanyikazi.
Listen to the plight of employees. What he is telling us at the national level is different from what is happening at the ground. These are two different things. You might think that this one person is living in heaven and others are in hell.
Public demonstrations and social media campaigns emerged with the slogan, Atwoli must go, reflecting dissatisfaction with his leadership. Many Kenyans questioned his extended stay in office and questioned his effectiveness in addressing workers' issues. Political leaders have also voiced their concern regarding Atwoli's leadership.
Maneno ya labor haiwezi kuwa inashughulikiwa na one Francis Atwoli. Sasa aende atulie, akwende nyumbani, vijana wachukue hiyo kazi.
Individuals on social media platforms have accused Atwoli for his perceived inaction and political affiliation. Some users have accused him of aligning with political interest than with the welfare of the Kenyan workers. In January 2025, Atwoli accused Nation Media for this article that reads, Atwoli's politics of survival as he hosts Ruto in lavish rural home, which he said was not reflective of the nature of his politics. Something that shocked most Kenyans about Atwoli was during the rising cases of abductions in Kenya. He said, and I quote, "On abductions, I work with many organizations across the world. Some people are abducting themselves so that they can get money from organizations." Nelson said, "I thought old age comes with some level of wisdom. Atwoli saying young people are abducting and perhaps killing themselves are utterly insensitive to the anguishing parents." In January 2025, a report by Federation of Kenyan Employers (FKE) regarding significant job losses in Kenya since 2024 said that over 5,000 Kenyans have lost their jobs, with at least 57 companies declaring redundancies during this period. Atwoli dismisses the report and said, "This is high-level propaganda aimed at creating fear among our negotiators when it comes to renewing our terms of service. If 57 companies are planning to leave Kenya, we would now know, because the people served by those companies would raise complaints." Throughout his tenure, Atwoli has faced questions regarding his retirement plans. In 2022, he addressed these inquiries by stating, "Matters of Court 2 leadership is a Court 2 constitutional issue and not Atwoli's issue. As of now, I am in office serving my last term." Despite these declarations, Atwoli has occasionally remained non-committal about specific retirement dates. In December 2024, during an engagement on X, a user sought to know when the Kotu boss plans to hang his boots and call it a day. He asked, "Mr. Atwoli, when will you retire?" Atwoli responded, "Uliza tu hiyo swali, hiyo kitu ikutoke." Then he put the records straight. "I am here serving the interests of trade union members. I am not appointed. I am elected by members. If you join union, you will understand my role and that of Kotu." In April, he told Citizen TV that it is not up to him to decide when to retire. He said, and I quote, "Are you serving the people who gave you that mandate? That is the question. It is not me to retire. It is them to say. I wanted to retire in 2011. They say no. I wanted to retire in 2016. They say no. In 2021, I said now you will decide. I am still around." This is Freedom Amos. Please subscribe for more videos like this. Adios.